Medieval myth. Justice was always brutal. When people think of medieval justice, they imagine iron maidens, constant executions, and a world where punishment was always savage and extreme. It is a powerful image. It is also incomplete. While brutal punishments did exist, most medieval justice was not built on torture or bloodshed. It was built on fines, public shame, negotiation, and restoring order. Today, we uncover why the myth of constant brutality exists and what medieval justice actually looked like in everyday life. The Middle Ages were violent by modern standards, but they were not lawless. Communities depended on rules to function. Lords depended on stability. Courts existed at nearly every level of society. Justice in the medieval world had one primary goal: keeping peace. To understand medieval punishment, we must look beyond the extremes and examine how justice worked for most people most of the time. Section 1. Most crimes were minor. The vast majority of medieval crimes were not murder or treason. They were disputes over land, unpaid debts, broken agreements, insults, and petty theft. These cases filled court records across Europe. They were handled quickly and locally. Violence was rare in comparison to everyday disputes. Medieval justice focused on resolving conflict before it escalated. Section 2. Fines and compensation. Fines were the most common punishment. If someone stole livestock, damaged property, or caused injury, they were usually required to pay compensation. Money or goods restored balance and prevented feuds. Even serious injuries could be settled through payment. This system was practical. It avoided cycles of revenge and kept communities functioning. Justice was often transactional rather than punitive. Section 3. Public shame as punishment. Public humiliation was more effective than physical pain. Stocks, pillories, and public apologies exposed offenders to ridicule. Reputation mattered deeply in medieval society. Shame damaged social standing and discouraged repeat offenses. These punishments were meant to correct behavior rather than destroy lives. Execution was not the default response. Section 4. When brutality appeared. Brutal punishments did exist, but they were reserved for specific crimes. Murder, treason, arson, and repeated offenses could bring harsh penalties. These crimes threatened the social order itself. Public executions served as warnings. They reinforced authority in a world without police or prisons. Brutality was selective, not constant. Section 5. Courts were more structured than we assume. Medieval courts followed procedures. Witnesses testified, evidence mattered, reputation influenced outcomes. Verdicts were recorded. By the later Middle Ages, juries and written records became common. Ordeals declined. Legal reasoning evolved. The system was imperfect and unequal, but it was not chaotic. Section 6. Class and justice. Justice was not applied equally. Nobles often received fines where peasants faced corporal punishment. Wealth influenced outcomes. Power shaped law. Yet even nobles faced consequences for rebellion or treason. No one was completely immune. Justice reinforced hierarchy, but it also restrained violence. Section 7. Why the brutality myth survived. The most shocking punishments are the ones remembered. Later writers emphasized torture and execution to portray the Middle Ages as barbaric. These images contrasted neatly with modern ideas of progress. Over time, the exception became the rule in popular imagination. The everyday reality was far less dramatic. Conclusion. Medieval justice was not always brutal. It was pragmatic. It relied on fines, shame, and negotiation far more than torture or death. Brutality existed, but it was not the foundation of the system. Understanding this changes how we see medieval society. Law was about maintaining peace, not constant cruelty. If this episode challenged what you thought you knew, press like and subscribe to TorchLit History. Tell me in the comments which medieval legal practice surprised you most. History is clearer when we look beyond the extremes.